Okay, the last time we played Trails of Cold Steel, we were just doing some questing in town. Haven't had any combat in a bit, but that's okay. I left a message to myself past Marstead, said that I should do side quests. Namely, I should do the student council side quests, or the academic side quests, or go fishing. So, probably do one or all of those things in the 2-hour session here today. Just reacquaint myself with what we're doing here. Quest. Yeah, here we go. Noteworthy loss. I want to do the side ones first. Drop my student notebook, and I can't find it anywhere. Port on the first floor of the student union building. Okay. Also go fishing, which maybe I'll try later. I don't know if I can mark quests on my map, which would be really convenient if I could. No, I just have to go find the thing. Okay, well, we'll do what we can do. Explore around too. It says snow in Los Alamos. I know, right? Still pretty crazy here. I do not know how to deal with this amount of snow. The giant mountain of it that's practically blocking our garage. Oh, how was it, Spiky? Worth it? Right. I caught it a couple minutes before stream started and tried tweaking some settings and I can't get it to go away. Maybe I can turn one of these off. Shouldn't... I guess that looks like that helps. Try to fix it later though. Yeah, I like the soundtrack of this game so far. Game audio is loud. Thank you. Instructions remind me. Press B when an exclamation point appears. Really press the indicated button to reel in the fish. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not evenly lit now, but it'll do for now. It's a decent fishing minigame. I think the best one I've ever played is still Breath of Fire. Coughed up some water crystals. Okay. And I think I asked this last session, but it sounds like only certain activities progress the day forward. It's not like Persona, where if I choose to do a side quest, that there's some opportunity cost. So I can do any side quests that don't have a required marker and the day won't advance. I think that's correct. And also the amount of time I spend dicking around doesn't seem to matter either. Like there's not a real clock passing when I'm walking around fishing and stuff. Chosen the sky better. Oh. Thanks, dude. What does obtaining the book actually afford me, though? Someone's gonna want it later. Okay. She said yes. Crack. Robin up. Trail series is the opposite of dialogue precision. Yeah. It seems like, at least this one seems to borrow that from Persona, but that seems to be true of all Trails games. Because this one doesn't have the Persona kids going to school format, does it? Let's see if I can look at a map and find this building. There we go. There's the station, chapel, dormitory, bus dorm. The student council area is somewhere entirely different. I guess I'll just keep stopping at buildings near there and see if there's like side quests or things inside. Every single NPC updates their dialogue at every possible moment. Wow. That's not necessary. They all have several lines of it too. Nobody's like, welcome to Corneria. Yeah, I know, right? Just the volume of text. And a lot of it's like socially oriented. I haven't gotten a notification yet, Kaimon. But right, you just got your thing, right? So we'd think they would have crossed around now. Let me make a note to myself. I'll call them when I can here. Ooh. No, the mail is still coming. But I don't know how else that might impact shipping in the United States, or at least international shipping. I think that the post office workers are being forced to work without pay. I've still been getting packages since the shutdown started. But I'll try calling the post office and see if they have it. Yeah. Pay attention to detail on the maps in this game. The environments look like they got some work done. Cell phones, sure. That's part of the whole Amazon controversy, right? Like, Amazon has a special deal with the post office to still deliver Amazon package on Sundays. They make a good amount of money from that. I need to find this girl's missing notebook in the student council building. Which... is that building accessible with Thor's military academy? Maybe. Also, when I stopped last time, I didn't finish exploring all these buildings, so I guess I gotta keep doing that. Right, Spiky. Oh, most quest stuff gets a map marker? Okay. Thank you. Trade. Oh, interesting. So I can upgrade a potion to a high potion. I see. That's cool. Ride along bear. Is there any use for Sepith masses other than converting to Mira? Just convert it? Okay. Slightly more flavorful money. Okay, thank you. Imagining just the project of tackling a game of this scope. Especially since there seems to be a decent amount of demand for it in the West, right? Sorry. Got more sources of camera jank lately. Oh wow, yeah. Enormous localization costs, small but vocal fan base. Hey Krogan Shar, how are you? Nice to meet you. Yeah, I'll check in. I think the P.O. box is kind of tricky. Like, if I don't have a tracking number, I pretty much just have to call them. Like, I don't think they send a forwarding thing like, hey, heads up, you got something. So I'll make a note, I'll make sure I call them. The library, you'll find books detailing key terminology on the second floor and a recommended reading corner on the first. Really? Oh, okay. So that book that I obtained might even have that already? Let's see. Oh god, it's Skyrim. Talk about volume of translated text. Well, if there's a book that I ought to read, let me know, like a Lusty Argonian Maid equivalent. Nice. Seems like the kind of game that 100%ing it is a daunting task, given that the main story, How Long to Beat Estimate, is like 74 hours. How long did that take you? Okay, awesome, yeah, maybe I can try to check it at the same time. Purple Revolution is like the Industrial Revolution, but it's with orb magic. Railways. Engines. Of course, it's connecting to Heimdallr. Like themselves some Norse mythology in Japan. Alright, so even if I skip through that text, I should still advance it to get it added to the book tab. Because that matters, if I'm not 100%ing it. Oh, jeez. I'm not going to remember any of these proper nouns. I'll probably ask you guys as the game continues to appear on Subblock or on the voting spreadsheet. The Papal Guard, that's cool. That's a noun that I can remember better, the Congregation of Divine Worship. A large object of unknown origin appeared over Valeria Lake. 125, that's impressive. Is this game particularly brutal to 100%? Is there any, like, significant number of missables? Or is it just a matter of having the time to revisit everything in the endgame? I imagine some stuff must be missable with the whole Persona day progression system. Ugent Rise Arnor III. Okay. President Rocksmith. Okay, so Calvert is basically the US. Just skips over days when nothing important happens. Okay. So it's superficially Persona-like, but it doesn't really have the that's a lot of lore. Shit. Alright. We'll move on. It doesn't have the opportunity cost system, which is pretty key to Persona's day advancement system. You have to choose what to do during a day to the exclusion of other choices. Yeah, fair enough. Student Union Building, I see. So green exclamation point is optional side quest, red is mandatory. What student are you actually studying? Right. That's good. The thing that bothered me about the Persona system was that there was definitely a way to play it optimally, but it was very difficult to intuit that without following a walkthrough. Especially since the game would randomly take away, you know, a week of time without really giving you a heads up. It's Colette. That's how it is. I guess they're all in the quests menu, I should specify. I should call the optional ones side quests, and the required ones main quests. You seem so much more protagonisty than me. It's almost like you have a unique character model, and I share mine with several other girls. I had to get this request from the mission board, and then I had to go talk to her in person. I love the parody of that in Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, where it involves like multiple trips to the mission board before you actually do anything. Hey, thanks, Krogan. Sure. There's a language that Japan likes as much as English. It's German. You gotta name all your giant robots after German verbs. Search the main building in the area surrounding it. I think this is what you were talking about though, Spiky. Like, the volume of text for "go find my notebook" is pretty intense. Like, especially since we already read a mission board that was like, my notebook's missing. Just thinking about the localization effort is mind-numbing. Second floor of the main building. Good lord, okay. Main building 2F is what we want. Is it likely on a free day that I'll find a bunch of optional side quests just by walking around talking to randos in buildings? I wonder to what extent the game points me to side quests at the beginning of a free day, or if, like, on each free day I should go visit every NPC in the game. Not that I'm going to do that, I'm just wondering, like, what's expected of the player if they wanted to 100% it. Certeria. Alright, look for a shining, bright point of light somewhere. Hopefully in a hallway and not in one of the buildings. I promise I'd read what she said, but let me just double check here. Corridors and rest areas. So the right way to deal with the hidden ones probably would be to follow a walkthrough to find where all of them are. Well, it's not any of the corridors in the second floor. Or go insane talking to every NPC in the game. Right? Yeah. Like you were saying, the dialogue they have available changes after virtually every event. And then every day. I see. So those buildings aren't marked on the map, so they're not actually real. You can't access them. If I walk past this notebook and you guys happen to notice it, feel free to let me know. Gotta join the student clubs. After every cutscene? Wow. So like most of the dialogue will change even in the space of the same day if a cutscene occurs? That's crazy. It's like a visual novel level of effort. I see why the base, how long to beat is 74 hours. Trails in the Sky was the same. Oh, is it like a, I'm looking for a shining white spot since I've seen a couple books that look like that. Is it more like a mash the confirm button everywhere to see if it pops up? Seems to 76, so far to 69. It's visible as a book. Okay. It's useful. It is on the second floor, though? Are most interactables just like the object that you're sent to look for? Just trying to get a sense of this game's UI. Like, you know, Final Fantasy IX has the exclamation point that pops over your head when you can interact with something. Okay, I'll narrow it down. Is it in a room, or is it in these hallways, or this is the rest area where I would expect it to be, but I don't see anything here. Visual novels of the battle system. Yeah, and like the battle system, at least in this one, seems really robust. Like it's a combination of every awesome JRPG. It's in the hallways. Well, I mean that's what the clue says, so it's not in the rest area, so it has to be in a hallway somewhere. Put it on hard. I think you were describing it, Spiky, that it's like every character has a lot of things they can do, and there's not always an objectively correct choice to make every time, which is nice. Alright, I think I give up. Where's the book? Status effects are actually good. Oh my goodness. The other game I've heard of that manages to pull that off was Etrian Odyssey. I checked that area pretty thoroughly, but... Oh, there it is. I guess I can't walk to it, though. Come from it from behind. Ah, that's why I didn't look. Gotcha. I like just the volume of dialogue there for picking up the book. Like, any other game would be like, you found Colette's notebook. But we had like 6 different lines of dialogue to be like, let's make sure this is the right book. Unless if there's someone else named Colette, this is the right book. Alright, she was at the Student Union building. Thanks guys for helping me out on that one. I was just stumbling because I couldn't walk between the desk and the couches, so I didn't think it would be on there. You gonna give me like a potion or something? Which pocket do you put your notebook in? I feel like we should start keeping a tally. Let's see if we can find the most absurdly long conversation for something that didn't need to have more than a line of dialogue. She's explaining why she gave me an accessory. I've definitely played a version of that where you go to the mission board and it says, somebody lost their notebook. Okay. You go and you get the notebook, and it's like, you got the notebook. You bring it to the person and says, hey, thanks for giving me the notebook. Here, take this. You got an accessory. Bye. Like, yeah. Right. We were just saying that, like, it's impressive that, you know, this game even got localized in the first place, given that volume of dialogue. Let's go to the engineering building. Makes it feel more alive. Yeah, I think you can argue in either direction on it. I think I judge lack of dialogue precision more harshly because I am streaming. It means that more of the stream ends up being characters rambling, you know, rather than kind of getting to the point. If I were playing it, like, if I could play a Trails-style game set in the Mass Effect universe, that would make me very happy, because I would get all the lore and all the time to play with the characters. But I mean, I guess I think I would make that happy. I'm not sure, because one of the things I really like about Mass Effect is that there are many conversations, and about half the game is dialogue, but each of the conversations is about as short as it needs to be. Dialogue precision is a feature of convenience. Yeah. They all have continuity. Give it his name. Speak it in. Mm-hmm. So did, like, the discovery of this orb technology happen in one of the previous games? Or do we say this one's pretty far in the future from the previous ones? Trails in the sky. As you know, I need you to do this thing that we talked about earlier. Normal wristwatch. I've been to some of those places already. It's not going to be easy carrying all these around. Listen, buddy. I'm a JRPG protagonist. I have basically unlimited pockets. Here, I'll just shuffle them around with my 99 potions. Right after the Trails in the Sky series. Crossbell happens at the same time. And which of those games have been localized? All of the Sky games and like 2 of the Steel games or something? Cooking Club, main building, pawn shop, Radio Trista. Those are all back in Trista. So I guess we go to the main building, maybe we can pick up the quest that's there. Hey, thank you, Ludifex. Appreciate it.
You're super awesome.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Thanks, man. Yeah. I really like the combat in this game. It feels like it's a combination of like 6 other JRPG combat systems that I happen to like. think it was correct to open with basically all combat. Pace slows down a bit after that, which is fine. So I think that generally I'm appreciating games more and more that are willing to start out at a very slow pace. But in the case of games that have multiple core gameplay loops, like Persona, where one loop is the social aspect of talking to people and passing the day, and the other aspect is the combat system, I think the one that's more engaging of the player should be presented as soon as possible. And then you can have a long, 5-hour stretch of running around, going to school, that sort of thing. But like, I appreciate a slower paced opening in something like Prey or God of War 2018. Fantic. I'll let Andrea know that you're helping to channel her. Trails Etrian Odyssey, that's all dungeon crawling. So it's Etrian Odyssey dungeon crawling, but it has this game's combat system. Doors appearing out of nowhere, strange and eerie voices from the darkness. So like, there are monsters in this world, right? And like supernatural phenomena that aren't explained. Ask your classmates for assistance. Okay. Monsters exist, magic also exists, but it's kind of rare-ish. Is orb technology like refined magic, or tapping into some kind of magical energies that are otherwise only known to strange wizards and witches and shit? Or well, it's techno magic. Oh, okay, it's more like technology. Yeah, it can be tough to distinguish depending on setting. There's a couple settings where like magic isn't really supernatural, it's just a natural phenomenon that exists in that universe that everybody fully understands. Like, you don't have like the dark fantasy. On the one end of the spectrum, you've got your Game of Thrones dark fantasy where no one understands magic. Some people don't believe that it exists, and when it does work, no one knows exactly what's going to happen when you put in some input. You don't know what the output's going to be, right? You have something like Eberron in Dungeons & Dragons where people are using magic to make magic trains, dirigibles and shit. Yeah. That's the line, right? Any sufficiently advanced technology that is distinguishable from magic. I guess in the case of a video game setting, whether I'd call it magic or technology is whether it's something that's a talent or it's something that you like equip. Like if you need to, buy an orb staff and then anyone with an orb staff can cast fireball, versus somebody like studying in a school and having a talent to conjure fire. Just the opposite of enthused trade surf. Comes from a mineral called Sebith, definitely more like technology. Okay. But its effects are comparable to magic in some cases. Will do. Delicious, delicious food. Great, unique. Peculiar dish. Okay. Have another party member help him. Wow, it's complicated. I like it. There's no distinction between magic and a sufficiently convenient plot device that the author pulled right out of their ass. Yeah. Yeah. that's how that's gonna work. Martial arts are basically magic. Okay, from like a video game perspective. I'm trying to think if I've played a game where I really liked an interface with the cooking system. Most games interpret cooking as here's a temporary buff that you have to remember to apply every so often. I started to like cooking in Breath of the Wild, but it pretty quickly became clear that you only needed to make like 3 dishes ever. Yeah. The problem with the Breath of the Wild one is there's no recipe cookbook, so you can't come at it from like, I'm gonna try to cook all the things in the whole game. It's another way for me to 100% it. And anything that provides temporary hearts is so overpowered compared to all other healing recipes. Anything involving, I think they're called the hardy turnips or the durians. If it has hardy in the name, that's the most overpowered thing you can cook with. Temporary hearts. Because anything that gives you even just 1 temporary heart gives you a full heal for free in addition to giving you the temporary heart. Tell me your dream. Being passionate about what you do is a good thing. Buffs are good in general. I know, right, Krogan? What if you need 99 elixirs for the final boss? Can't use it now, I might need it later. Still want to play a game that tries to solve the consumable problem. So this quest was a way to get me exposed to the recipe system, the radio, and the card deck. Yeah, this because he didn't have anywhere to put it. Oh, that's cool. So this helps with the missable problem. You'll be able to play that later in the game. Okay, that's fair. Make the final boss's power scale up how many enemies items you have in your inventory. It's funny. Yeah, that's the same thing. If you're gonna make stamina items, get one that gives you temporary stamina for the same reason as the temporary heal. Even just including one of that ingredient will be enough to get you a full stamina heal. Okay, let's go back to the engineer. That was pretty cool. It's very dark compared to the rest of the game. So far I couldn't finish the curry tower. The less potions you have, the more potions the enemy drops. Oh, that's funny. Unfortunately, by selling them all. They was trying to incentivize you to use them. No, I got to the final boss and he used his 7th key on me and one-shot me, and I had already spent 30 minutes or over an hour climbing it, so... He did like 1900 damage to me. I think there's a turn limit to beat him before he uses the 7th key and is likely to one-shot you. So I was taking my time playing it safe, casting defense spells, topping off. He's gonna give me a radio! Hey, there it is! I didn't use a 3rd key because I didn't know that there would be a turn limit. It's like, oh, I can out-heal him, and I can out-damage him, cut him to like quarter health or something, and then he's just like, hey, one shot. Thor's Orbital Factory. Arcus is like their cell phone that lets them do magic in this game. Gotta keep track of my abbreviations and stuff. Yeah, I think the instant KO solution is to make characters that do an instant death ability prime it for a turn, so you can try to do something. Okay. There's no reason to... Sepith masses sell for the same amount to every shop in the game, I assume. Don't need to sell them to the most ideal shop. Do not make use of the Orbital Factory. Unlock slots in your party's ordnance. I see. That's cool. Sell the same minute where you go. Okay, good. They sell the same for the entire game. It's basically just a flavorful money drop. Can be opened. Why not? Oh, but I can choose which lines I want to do, I guess. Start with the cheaper ones, I suppose. I'm gonna regret these decisions later. It's fine. Whatever you want. Okay, thank you. Increase your max EP by less. I see. Right. Did I get poison earlier from the first dungeon as just a lucky drop? Where did I get that from? Also, what does this special orange circle mean? It looked different from all the other ones. I guess there's a green one here as well. A couple other colored ones here, like this red one. Poisoners from a chest. Okay. Only an ornament of that element can be inserted. Oh. So, like, he can get poison there, but only poison. Is that just a restriction that sort of forces the characters to trend toward a specific sort of element? Or is there any advantage to putting an ability there? It's a motorcycle. It's an orbercycle. Just to add distinction between the characters. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because you have a system like that, you run into the trouble of having like the Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII issue, where eventually all the characters are carbon copies except for like their limit breaks. So having a couple abilities that are elementally restricted is neat. Motorb cycle. I know, I'm trying to spare you, but that was pretty bad. I hope you're proud of yourself. Alright, so the other one was... That confirmed sound effect sounds like it's right out of RPG Maker. Key to the old schoolhouse. Schoolhouse, I see. Put Orwell before everything. Yeah. It's like sci-fi and quantum. Can't just be like, it's a quantum engine. What? Quantum blouse. Base stats, crafts, quartz color, restrictions, and distribution of lines in their orbit are all different between characters. Crafts, I guess. Okay. Well, in the opening in media res sequence, it certainly felt like the characters were pretty distinct from each other. But I wasn't sure if that was enforced for the opening or if it's generally true for the whole game. I get the feeling I won't have any time to do anything else today. Thanks, game! I appreciate that. I guess I just saved. I can use it now. Use your Arcus to call the members of Class 7 for assistance. Okay. Ron Weasley and the cool foreign kid. He's laid back because his shirt's not tucked in. Those stats are a big thing. They're radically different for characters. Just dictate their specialization. Okay. And there's not like a sphere grid or something in this system that would make a magically inclined character eventually useful physically. If they're magically inclined, they're going to pretty much stay magically inclined for the game. Damage types. I feel like you're going to have a large cast. It's more important to make them unique in the combat side of the game. Damage affinity, like blunt slashing, that kind of thing. This game does feel really polished, and the localization seems very high quality given the volume of text. Yeah, I was impressed with the voice acting earlier. That's weird. Spooky. At least it's not one of the 7 mysteries, right? So these might have been a save point in alternate reality where you couldn't just save at will. Dude, he's on a console somewhere. Maybe he's on like PS4 or is it just PC? PS2 for 2 years before the PC port. Interesting. I can't really describe why it feels this way, but this feels like a PC RPG. Something about the UI and the layout of the game. Like, it's not clearly Unreal Engine. It works just fine with a controller, though, so... Feels PlayStation. Oh, sure, because East Origin also feels like that, Spiky. I can't really put into words why I feel like that, though. It might not be... fair. Combat links connects Arcus users to each other. So by both of us having cell phones, we can do cool shit. Ah, that's cool. That's cool. Social link light. Just involving player characters. Oh. So any two characters only can have one link, I guess. Interesting. This is a cross between a lot of
Enemies ahead.
JRPGs.
Have to fight.
Chance to unbalance enemies. Follow up attacks when they're off balance. I see.
Go.
Like I said, so far this game has borrowed cool combat ideas from at least 4 JRPGs I've played. The link system is pretty close to Shadow Hearts, you're right. That's cool. I don't think I had any AoE abilities today. I do have a couple. I wish I could sleep the other 2. Maybe I can get all of them. I like the having to specify an area of effect. It's very like Tales of Symphonia.
It's my turn.
You have 4 people in your party, so it's less awkward, sure.
They're open. Go.
Now he still gets a turn after doing a link attack too, whereas in Shadow Hearts it's just lining up your turns to do bonus damage. It's a little bit different.
Now's our chance.
They can both link. What allows them to do that? That's part of what I'm not clear on yet. Is it based on their proximity to each other?
It's my turn.
Or whether they're both in range of the enemy? I'm gonna try to heal with Ron Weasley here, I think. See, I can see the turn order.
Now.
Keep it up, everyone.
There are a couple abilities that have friendly fire, right?
Not yet.
but he doesn't get to heal until the end of his turn, presumably. That's interesting. There it is. Glad I used the potion.
It's my turn. There. Now.
Sleep was actually kind of useful here to not die.
Here we go.
Crafts use CP, which you generate when you deal or receive damage.
There.
So you have a resource that you don't get to regenerate at the end of each battle, or during battle, which is EP, and CP you can kind of use freely in combat because you'll just be getting it back every single fight. And I eventually learned more information about enemies and their weaknesses just by having fought them. Is that right?
All right.
Like after you fight them a certain number of times, you know their weaknesses.
We're open.
Sure, and you get to a save point rest statue. You can use that to heal for free.
That's that. Let's keep moving.
One is a short-term resource that you build within the combat. The other is a cross-combat resource. Practice as much as possible while the stakes are low. The link system seems cool. Extra layer of complexity. So what causes Link XP to accrue? Simply triggering a Link attack, or the characters being linked at the end of a combat? I love this game is complicated enough that we're going to distinguish between mollusks and crustaceans. We're not going to say like aquatic enemies. Characters being linked to the end of combat. Okay. Yeah, that different turns have different modifiers is very Xenosaga. I'd actually be interested to, once we unlock all the mechanics in this game, to really try to compile all of the mechanics it's borrowing. It sort of feels like Final Fantasy XIV, which borrows ideas from every other MMO that's out there because Yoshi P is a big MMO nerd. Severe Link XP comes from out-of-battle events. Do the out-of-battle events depend on my Link choice in the menu, or it's just like, oh, I go hang out with Gaius, so we get a bunch of Link XP? I see the meters starting to fill there, okay. Gotcha. Is hanging out an opportunity cost thing where I have to hang out with one character at the...
All right, here we go.
Instead of hanging out with another character?
Winds, give us your blessing. Here we go.
This kind of sounds like moons give me strength, but you know, whatever.
There.
Give it a shot. It's okay damage too. I mean, it seems like because you can accrue Link XP through combat, there's not a finite amount of Link opportunity in the game the way there is in Persona, right? Because in Persona, if you spend too much time with one character, it's possible that you won't be able to max all of them out. slingshot.
My turn.
So you don't get a link attack if you finish off the enemy you're attacking.
Now's our chance.
Only had 2 people at max for the end of the game. Okay. Just knowing that it's possible to do it reduces my anxiety. It's an interesting phenomenon because I clearly have no actual intent in playing games like this, on stream at least, to try to optimize or 100% them. But it's good to know that if I wanted to put the effort into 100%ing, I could. Shit, he's gonna have to just use it on himself. He might still die. Let's see.
Give it up, everyone!
Not a big deal with Persona, sure.
My turn.
Oh, he missed. That sucks. Save some damage into
Here we go.
Mr. Weasley. Are they paralyzed? Is that what that icon is? From the attack I did earlier?
Right! Give it up, everyone!
So it means they can't attack.
Go.
I see.
Go. Leave it to me.
I see, and these enemies aren't allowing me to do a link attack right now because they're not weak against the damage type I'm using. They are weak against thrust, though. I got it.
Here we go.
That's cool. Wonderful.
Too slow.
My turn!
Do all characters just have some base chance of counter triggering? How does that work? Oh, I misunderstood this earlier. Boost the defense of allies and heal 30% HP every turn. I guess that does include him.
Give it up,
He
everyone!
just has his low max HP. Now that's just refreshing their existing 4-turn buff, like casting Resounding Beat when Resounding Beat was already in effect does nothing for me. Is that true?
Here we go.
Just refreshes it. Okay. You counter and miss. Okay.
Leave it to me. Together, we're unbeatable.
I really, really like the combat in this game. Just to act to trigger the heal. So, if they have an ability to heal through in-combat effect like that Resounding Beat, they have to be doing that in combat to get the benefit of it, I guess. You can't just use it for free outside of combat. I guess I gotta go back to the free heal and heal real quick. Alright, I forgot there was a fast forward button. This is kind of like a global fast forward. I could even use that during dialogue, right?
It's time to begin our investigation.
This is sprinting right now, right? Versus walking here? Or is sprinting a separate mechanic?
It's my
Am
turn.
I supposed to get behind them is what I'm trying to do? With attacking them outside of combat? Stun them briefly? Steal 2 of them would be nice.
They're open. My turn.
Sprint's different than running.
There. Go.
Give it up, everyone!
These have various stun effects, which is why it's worth switching characters in the real world.
Go!
I see. So maybe they don't get a special stun effect from the sword. Slugs, that is.
All right.
I like the in-combat EP heal effect too. Now, I don't recall this if this is correct, but like right now, if we look at the turn order in the top left, it suggests that there's a CP heal on turn 3. Is that bound to turn 3? So if I had some kind of effect that pushed somebody else into turn 3, they would get that CP heal? Or is that bound to the creature that's in that slot?
There!
It's bound to turn 3. Oh, it's half HP.
Right.
Let's see.
Keep it up, everyone.
That's cool. Try to secure bonuses.
Won't give up.
There's a lot of complexity in this system. In a good way. Definitely play JRPGs that feel complex for no reason, but it feels like you are really incentivized to take advantage of that complexity to succeed in this game, which is very cool.
There! We're open! Go! Go!
Yeah. Sure, you can have things like delaying enemies, quick attacking, that sort of thing.
Go!
You do remember you can use it in any turn. It's cool.
It's my turn.
I feel like that's an idea I've seen in another JRPG. I'm impressed that all of these mechanics from different JRPGs seem to mix together so well. I think it would have a pretty high chance of being a mess, you know? The elemental affinity here. Sorry, I don't remember. Does this mean that this enemy resists wind, or that they're weak against wind? I think it means that they resist wind and they're weak against water. Oh, never mind. My bad.
Arcus activate. Huh?
Thanks!
Okay. So 100 is 1.x damage. 200 is double damage. I like that that's a gradient instead of just being weak to, strong to. Just combat a little bit more interesting, I think.
Now's our chance! Here! It's my turn.
One didn't trigger a link attack.
My turn. Now's our chance. Here.
It's like, it's used both to
It's
mean
my
an
turn.
efficacy multiplier and a success chance multiplier. So if it's a 10, that would be a 10% chance of success. I guess it's like D100 tabletop systems. Makes sense.
The winds must be on our side. They must be, because that was a breeze.
Fist bump. So there's just a chance for the characters to have a little bit of post-combat bark like that, or is that based on who I linked
All
with?
right.
I'm just getting started.
It's like this game borrows a lot of ideas mechanically from other JRPGs, but then doesn't borrow the really bad ones, right? See if I can find
Leave
the
it to me.
dash button.
Here we go.
Oh, okay. Plus fast forward. Interesting. If you really want to book it, you can. Finish them off with a link attack, you get a double victory system. Oh, that's cool.
It's time to begin our investigation.
It's time to continue our investigation. I'm just trying to kill stuff to level up.
Bring it on!
Bummer. CP
my turn.
slurp. Rude.
You're mine! Go!
One's sealed, so I don't have to deal with it just yet. Is there like an obvious Trails mascot? Moogle Chocobo slime equivalent?
You're mine! My turn!
Nishi.
Right.
All right. There. Now. Here we go. Okay, it's safe for now.
I like the tactical XP bonuses too, that's cool.
My turn.
It's my turn.
There it goes. Okay.
Let's get him.
Triple advantage. Oh,
My
dang,
turn.
yo. Tag, kid. I like trying to just barely get this to trigger on multiple enemies. I don't think it's possible here, but
There.
it's cool if that's possible in some battles.
Go.
It has to be a hit in the back for it to work. Okay.
Leave it to me.
Right. Give it up, everyone.
My turn.
It seems like a really significant bonus in the way this game is set up.
There. Now's a chance. Here. Leave it
Big
to me.
attacks tend to focus on the first of multiple targets, I guess.
Now.
It can still link even after I killed an enemy. That's cool. If I targeted multiple. Got it.
Here we go.
Oh, sure. Pull an enemy, run away till they leash them in the back. Gotcha. I was wondering how you would go about trying to hit enemies in the back on purpose. That makes
Now's a
sense.
chance. Here.
Right.
Leave it to me. Now. My turn. Okay, it's safe for now.
Hit them walk 2 steps while they're stunned. I see. Unscathed, double teamed, overkill, first strike. Wow. Those build up quite a bit, don't they? Right on. So, the stun effect's changing based on the weapon equipped, so that's independent of you getting the preemptive strike against them and getting to act twice in a row. That's some other benefit you might get from hitting them from behind with a specific kind of weapon. Sorry, sneeze. Oh yeah, that's cheesy as hell. I love it. Big
Wait
fan.
behind us. Let's go. My turn. There.
My turn.
That cheese dough.
Give it up, everyone.
I can skip all combat animations?
All right.
Oh my god. It's funny that, like, from like a combat and UI perspective, this game seems to respect the shit out of your time. And then the dialogue is as long as it is. But I guess if you really didn't care about the dialogue, you could just hold down the fast forward button and pop right through it in the same way, right?
There.
That's beautiful. It seems like the animations are already like reasonably long too.
All right.
They could be a lot worse. can only see a cool attack animation
turn.
so many hundreds of times before you start feeling like you want to skip it, I feel like. Against the wind, that's cool.
My turn.
I think giving you the ability to skip it is fun because it lets you make more absurd long animations, knowing that players will just skip them if they don't want to see them, right?
Together, we're unbeatable.
So, Link XP only goes to the characters that are linked at the end of combat, not characters that were linked during the combat. So, the reason to dynamically swap links mid-combat is to get the benefits on that character's turn, but not to accrue Link XP for everyone.
There.
Now's our chance. We can do this.
It's a lot of dudes. Tag, yo.
All right, let's do this. Right. It's my turn.
See you at the end of the battle, huh?
We're open.
Gotcha.
My turn.
Nice.
Give it up, everyone.
Here we go.
This game feels like
There.
a modern take on the JRPG in a very different way from
Leave
like
it to me.
Bravely Default. Like it's not doing that by trying to cut out as much of the
My
bullshit
turn.
as possible, like Bravely Default does with its in-combat fast forward and
All right.
ability to dynamically adjust the encounter rate. You already effectively have that by having the enemies appear on the world map. You can just choose not to attack them.
There. Together, we're unbeatable.
Cool. Just make sure we are saving frequently. About to ask if there was a reason to destroy every pot I saw, like every other game has taught me. Do not respect pottery if you're playing video games. Yeah.
Oh, a treasure chest.
It's kind of a... thought of the JRPG as kind of a flawed genre in a lot of respects. Prevents poison, prevents blind. Hey, nice to meet you, Xenosaga. That's awesome.
We made it through.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that game. I'm excited to get to Xenosaga 2 and 3 at some point. That must have been a rough VOD series to watch, because I think I played that game over like 3 years, separated by long months at a time. In addition to restoring the party's HP and EP, this charging station also allows you to exchange Sepith for quartz. Oh, so this is a factory? It's an in-dungeon factory, basically? Let's open everybody's base stuff first, I guess. Okay. Probably want to do some of that modify exchange. I see, this is where I buy them. Interesting. So that's almost like an XP system. I guess it's like a currency, but it's more like XP because you typically find those from combat. I guess we found a couple chests that gave us a bunch of each kind of Sepith. What makes it weaker than a factory? It did win the vote eventually, yeah, but it was because it had been discounted by over half from so many appearances on Subblock. U material. Here's a question. Presumably I'm gonna get a weapon that is in the same class as this Kazakiri weapon. It's also a katana or also a rod or whatever. And they each have their own upgrade chain, sort of like the upgrades in Dark Souls. I'm wondering if I should be, like, stingy with my upgrade materials or I'll be able to farm it trivially later. Like how close to Titanite Shard that is. This upgrades can be upgraded once. It goes from 0 to +1. Is it worth saving my U material until I get a better katana or a better rod? Guy looks like a cute Muppet.
This looks tough. Careful.
Leave it to me.
So it is eventually farmable. Unlikely to be vulnerable to steel. Bosses never are.
Go! All right, let's do this. Leave it to me.
Right. Keep it up, everyone.
All right. Now,
Everybody's got to have a unique weapon.
go!
There's one thing we don't like in the military. It's conformity. Pots sometimes drop the upgrade material.
My turn.
It's pretty cool, Xenosaga. It has some inspirations from Xeno, actually. Notice in the turnover in the corner there, there's like unique effects that happen on certain turns based on which character is acting then, kind of like the rotating between high crit turns and high money turns. I don't know if I've played another game that's done that. Xenosaga is the only one I can think of. Certain turns are better than others. It is weak against wind. We're going to see how this goes. Protagonist exception clause. You get to use whatever you want.
Arcus activate.
Guys isn't good at magic. Okay.
Here we go.
So if I guess I'm not spending most of this game with a party of 3 players, but is it generally right if I did have 3 to be trying to swap links around whenever I'm playing as a character that's not currently linked? Linking doesn't consume a turn, right? It's a free action. And I do like this song.
All right. We're open.
But link attacks only trigger on physical damage with the attack command, right? Like they won't trigger a link attack on use of an art or a craft.
Keep it up, everyone.
My turn. Now's our chance. All right.
I was asking about Link. He was one blade.
Now.
Whether Link attacks can trigger anything other than the attack command. Okay. Sure, so the follow-up attack is using their basic attack, but can any other command trigger a Link attack than a basic attack?
All right, let's do this. Right.
Crafts can trigger? Okay, thank you.
Leave it to me.
I guess I've done that before with Gale Stinger, but Arts will not. What you're telling me.
There.
Bummer.
My turn.
Who's weak against Petrify?
It's my turn. We're open. My turn.
You die and revive, you have to manually relink. Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Go. Here.
My turn.
Here we go.
It's a free action anyway.
It's my turn. There. Now. Go.
Right. Keep it up, everyone.
Go.
Back attack drops links. Interesting. I appreciate that this game recalls whatever your last link was, though.
Go. Here.
It's another one of the ways in which the game, at least mechanically, respects your time,
There.
even if the dialogue doesn't necessarily. Of course, he gets the final blow. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, we did it.
So it seems like getting some of those XP bonuses is a pretty big deal in boss fights, huh?
I did it.
Getting way more XP. It's a strange feeling, all of us having cell phones like this. That triple ellipsis. Their bonds have been strengthened. Does that actually have a mechanical effect where it improves their link? Looks like that might be true. Oh, it looks like the link building is pretty slow. That's fair. Soul Blur. Ah, interesting. So some of these quartzes, in addition to providing a usable ability, have a passive effect? I like that. You know me and passives, like, give the player too many active abilities and you just kind of run into an opportunity cost problem where I can only really use one of these per turn. Passive stack. Reserve members get XP. That's good. Is that the shortcut orb? Because that would be really nice. Let's save. Does this game doesn't auto-save, does it? Hey, thanks, Islua. Appreciate that.
You're super awesome.
Trails in the Sky, just want to handle that. You only had passive cards. Ooh, they get points toward their color that unlocked arts. I like that idea. Yeah, I don't want to depend on autosave, but the way this game handles saving, it's... I'm worried that at some point I'm going to forget to do it and pay the price, you know? My ragging on it about its dialogue precision issue, I do like this game. I'm intrigued by the story and want to know more. I really, really like the combat system, though. I wouldn't mind if it was just a, you know, straight-up combat-only dungeon crawler. It's one of those interesting problems you run into where people make, you know, more than one game in their game, and you have to eat the vegetables to get to the meat, whichever one is the one you want. Maybe you luck out and you like a really long visual novel and a really tightly designed Japanese RPG that has a combat system inspired by like every other JRPG ever made. I don't know, Swikey. I guess we'll see. Suspicious cat watching us. What's that all about? I mean, does it feel like the 70 hours is warranted? Does it feel like it's too little butter, too much bread type situation? Thanks for the follow, Kipka. Welcome. I'm telling you to go to bed. Stuff starts happening, they're like, well, see you in Gold Steel 2. Got a mystery on our hands, boys. No trouble at all. I have not played Trails in the Sky now. It sounds like there's some plot references to those games, but it's not strictly necessary to play these ones. I'm trying to think of a comparable, consistent universe where it's all technically in the same setting, but you're not missing out on too much. Toodles. I guess Elder Scrolls, yeah. And Suikoden. Golden Sun, I guess not as much. I think the beginning of Golden Sun 2, you don't need to know anything about Golden Sun 1, but eventually you meet up with those characters. If you've already played all the Trails in the Sky games, or you're already familiar with a lot of these like proper nouns, names of countries, technologies, that sort of thing. One additional bonding point. I don't know if I remembered what a bonding point is. What do they mean in that context? Second half killed someone's plot. Ah, that's my limited resources to choose. I'm gonna build bond with. I see. That's interesting. I can't zoom out of a map and look at other maps without actually visiting those spaces, right? And back to the dormitory, okay. Bigger map if you hit square. Oh, here, from the main field. Ah, so these characters with the exclamation points are bonding points? Or are those additional side quests? What an enthusiast Goldilocks. Bonding events. Can I accrue bonding points and spend them all at once? I think I prefer that system to the day-night system in Persona. Use them or lose them. Alright. Now, is it all of the character portraits that can be bonding events, or is it only the ones that had exclamation points? I actually haven't played Star Ocean. I've heard good things about them. Star Ocean, the one that's like kind of a sci-fi fantasy as well? Crashed alien ships, that sort of thing? Techno magic? Only the ones with the exclamation point, I see. Oh shit, there's a... Oh my god. The game probably taught me about that before and I didn't realize it. Why does this game respect your time so much from a mechanics perspective, and yet have so much dialogue? That's wild. That's cool. I'd love to play Star Ocean at some point. I have a special place in my heart for science fantasy. My Dungeons & Dragons campaign kind of has that tone to it. You can say the same for Final Fantasy after Sakaguchi left, although I guess I've heard 13 is fine and 15 is fine. I'm just not the biggest Tetsuya Nomura fan. This dude is nuts. Oh no, Yukiko. Losing your save is one of the most demoralizing things. It's only ever happened once on stream. I lost my Super Mario RPG save. But fortunately it was a game that I had played a billion times before streaming it. And a game where saves are readily available on the internet. At least get back to where I was in the plot, if not with all of my frog coins and shit. I'm not super worried about it, Megman. I mean, I guess if there's one that's particularly cool or gives like a unique reward, go for it. But given that the game is 74 hours, I'm not going to be like particular hunt for side content. least while streaming it. Not more particularly cool, I see. You played other Tales games, you know? The only Tales game I've played is Symphonia, and I like that one quite a lot. I like that. Is it all damage in Tales games is avoidable, or most damages? PSX era. Accidentally formatting a card, oh dear. I have all my old PS1 and PS2 saves backed up digitally on my computer. Even though I'm never gonna boot them up. I'm never gonna like have a friend over and be like, "Hey man, do you want to see my 100% Chrono Cross save file?" Whoa, dog. Night, Kai Mom. Nice hanging out. See you next time. Don't push yourself too hard. Except it's still kind of Japanese work ethic, so push yourself just hard enough that you almost but don't quite collapse. He was also back up to PS1. Played a couple hours of Berseria. Darkstar Atlas is a sub-block game. That was pretty good. I like the combat system. Story seemed intriguing. Does the number of bonding points I have available, is that displayed somewhere? Is that the hand shaking next to Fride? Okay, so I can do all of those. Academy Field. And then after consuming those, I advance the day. Okay, horses exist in this universe. Good to know. Oh, this... I remember her. Sorry for falling on top of you. I'm sure that our relationship will never mend. Yeah, right, sir. I think we had some discussion in the first session of this game about, like, adding tropey characters is comforting for some players of games and consumers of like anime stories. I feel like you don't really need to do it though in a 70-hour JRPG because you get so much time to spend with these characters that we don't need this quick shortcut to kind of get you acquainted with them. I feel like that's more appropriate for like a one-shot story or like a sub 10-hour game. There's somewhat tropey characters, I guess, in a game like Undertale, but you kind of get the point pretty quickly. Doubles down on anime bullshit compared to Trails in the Sky. It's a tough call. People like it, obviously, so that's why people keep doing it. She has exactly the same pose. God. Probably like it, Xenosaga. It's pretty good. Boring, empty, self-insert dude, right? Game is that long, and you introduce so many characters at once helps to be tricky to distinguish them early on. I suppose that's true, Serp. Although the game also chooses to dump them all on you at the same time. Because it's more traditional, older JRPGs to, like, slow drip characters to you. So you already fully understand who Locke is before you meet Edgar. You know, and you get Edgar before you meet Sabin and so on. Right? But that also limits you. You can't tell a story about everybody starting and meeting each other for the first time as first years. Unless if you use some other storytelling mechanic, like in media res, to see them when they're not all together in the story. So, I don't know, I guess I can see it both ways. Worst part of tropes are the bad or gross tropes. Yeah, I agree. They're especially unnecessary in those cases too, which is kind of what frustrates me about it. This is just a map at the academy, so there might be other social things back by the front entrance. If we go to Trista. It's interesting because, like, if I see, we've talked before about how there are, you know, rudiments of game design. That if you break a game down, there are certain elemental parts that are going to appear in every game, like, you know, the traditional boss that charges at you and you have to dodge out of the way and get them to run into a wall, or the boss that does a butt stomp and you have to jump over the shockwave that it creates. And when I see those rudiments in different games, for whatever reason, I think that's cool. I'm like, oh, I've seen that before. Or, hey, it's like the, you know, Sniper Joe enemy from Mega Man. He's got a shield, I gotta wait for him to take his shield away, then I can damage him. That's neat. But when I see it with, like, anime tropes, I just get annoyed. Which probably isn't fair to anime tropes. I don't see any other bonds that I can do. Is it possible for me to have more bond points available than our characters for me to interact with? 3 events in the morning that disappeared. Okay. That's too bad. So, do I have any way to know that bonds will disappear in the evening, or should I just try to consume all my points before advancing time? I see. Use them as you got them. Okay. Cookie cutter stuff is boring. Yeah, I suppose so. Maybe cookie cutter is a better example. I feel like stuff like the butt stomp or the boss that charges at you, or the enemy that is briefly invincible before briefly becoming invincible. Like, those are rudiments in the sense that you can't reduce further than that. You know, you've got the mob that shoots projectile, the mob that bounces at you. There's only so many enemy types that you can create in a 2D side-scrolling game. But there are many more complicated characters than the Sundara character and the boring,
not bad.
Imprint yourself on them protagonists.
I think I can manage much more than this. I guess I should just be grateful I was able to pass the beginner examination at all. Better do some studying.
God, Aki.
It sounds like this is going to be a busy week, what with that ominous practical exam looming over us. I do have that radio from George here.
Oh, man.
We had that Orbital radio back home, too.
I'm still trying to perceive and absorb the aesthetic of this game. So it's like, some of them have very modern outfits. Like, she was wearing that lacrosse outfit. Looks like something someone would wear today. But that looks like a very steampunk radio, right?
Never knew they made them this small, though.
Their Industrial Revolution was like 50 years ago.
Let's see. Which station is Radio Trista? There we go.
It'll only take you guys like
It's
a couple
9 p.m.
years
You're
to
listening
push it
to
to
Radio
win.
Trista. Welcome, welcome. Don't touch that dial, listeners. You found the right place to be tonight.
We're in the middle of the Industrial Revolution.
It's time for the start of a brand new program here on Radio Trista, coming at you promptly every Sunday. I call it Abend Time, after the word for evening. Might be a little cliched, but sometimes simple is best, right? Cliches are cliches for a reason, after all. Anyway, my name is Misty, and I'll be your host. Hopefully I'll get to feature some famous guests at some point, so be sure you tune in every week or you might miss them.
You know, she's got a pretty nice voice.
Personas 3 and 4 had a very wide range of contribution from voters. Like, it wasn't just one person championing them.
This might be good to leave on in the background while I'm working.
I hope life has been treating all of you well this month as we slowly near the end of April. Here in Trista, the beautiful Lino flowers have passed their peak and begun to wilt.
In Persona 5 is critically acclaimed, right?
Flowers are beautiful in their own way as they serve to remind us just how fleeting this existence truly is.
I'm just out of touch, I think. I'll be positively surprised and still hate it.
Busy with the challenges of adjusting to their new lives. But what harm is there in taking a moment to admire nature every now and again? It's good for what ails you, I say.
Yeah, no kidding, Aki. So, like, Dark Souls is a game that appeals very personally to me, and I'm shocked that it's as popular as it is. I feel like it should be a much more niche thing, but people really like it, and that's great for me. And Persona is the exact opposite. Like, it feels like it should be very niche and everybody likes it. And I'm like, why does everyone like this game? Bah humbug. Back in my day.
Let's get your practical exam started, shall we?
Yeah. Persona 3 and 4, how stylish they are is definitely like a high point for both games.
To be completely clear from the outset, this exam is about more than just testing your physical strength and stamina.
From what little I've seen of this so far, Kefka, I think I agree with you. I like this better.
It's designed to hone in on how capable you are of making strategic combat decisions on the fly.
It still has a dialogue precision problem, but I have more questions that I think might have interesting answers, at least about the setting.
Defeating your opponent quickly is a good thing, certainly, but it won't be enough to score you high marks here.
Huh. Interesting.
So we're going to have to use our heads for this one, huh?
You'll see. Anyway, let's get this month's exam started, shall we? Reen, Elliot, Gaius, you're up first. Please step forward.
That's convenient. We were just working together.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Got it.
How freely will I be allowed to save during this exam process, if at all? Close the menu, begin the practical exam. Yeah. Too late, now you're dead. Clearly why she wears the belt. Pretty short. Okay. We have about 6 minutes left.
All right, then. Here we go.
So we'll see. I mean, I did not play Trails in the Sky, and I don't feel like I'm missing any information in this. I did feel like I was missing a bit about halfway into Shadow Hearts Covenant, having not played the first Shadow Hearts.
A monster?
No. I'm not sensing any life coming from it at all.
That's right. Think of it like a scarecrow. Only it's a moving scarecrow, I guess. Either way, it's not alive. I've set its parameters fairly high, though, so it is formidable. But if you give it your all, I'm confident you can beat it. Probably. Make good use of your Arcus's combat link abilities, for example, and I bet it'll be a piece of cake. Hint, hint.
So that's what you're playing at.
All right.
Is there any reference to the existence of this mercenary academy in the Trails in the Sky games? No one is knocked out. Okay. Oh, I really like how quick that menu is for changing links. That's pretty awesome.
All right, let's do this. Leave it to me. It's my turn.
Country gets referenced. I see.
There.
My turn.
Resist. Piercing.
Give it up, everyone.
All right.
We can resist almost everything.
My turn. Now's our chance. Here.
My turn.
Okay.
It's my turn. There. They're open.
My turn.
You can't really know that you did less damage than you should have based on damage type. You get the on-screen feedback next to the damage number. You won't use like the damage color to indicate that, I assume.
Leave it to me.
There. My turn.
Not good.
Oh god. That was a hell of a round there. I guess that was a clue that I should have been blocking.
All right.
My turn.
Probably gonna dive before the casket's off? No, it tells me how it's gonna trigger. Perfect.
Thanks.
Shit. I guess you gotta heal for acting that turn. It's a total waste. Spirit Bomb.
Leave it to me.
There. Here we go. Go. Here.
The cast Resounding Beat, please. Can you reposition against a charging enemy to reduce incoming damage or something?
There. Go. Go. Here.
Not quite. But maybe we might just be able to pull it out there. Uh-oh. Well.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Here we go.
No, it's already over because we failed the thing. Alright. Future Marstead. When you come to play this game again, if it stays on subblock or wins the vote, you were about to do a fight and an exam. Make sure everybody stays topped off. If the boss gets to go twice, they're going to get knocked down. Keep up the Motivate buff and the Resounding Beat buff. Especially don't waste 2 heals on the same character. And then after that, just play the game from there. You haven't had any side quests recently. That wraps up Mega Man's subblock for today. We play games recommended by subscribers. Next up is Skyrim, and then Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. I'm going to take a quick break to switch over to the next game, and we'll be back soon. Thanks, everyone.